Marshall McLuhan is the scholar who is the most central figure in media ecology. I like to say he's not at the absolute center. If there is an absolute center, he's a bit off-center. I think he would like that. And what that means is that he's probably the scholar who's most often cited, although you don't have to cite him to do media ecology. But he's most often cited, and I think, in particular, I mean, he's not the first media ecology scholar. We don't have a moment of birth, and so some people trace it back to Harold Innis, some to Lewis Mumford, or before him to Patrick Geddes, but you can also go back to Plato's Phaedrus, or for that matter, to the Ten Commandments of Moses. So, and in that way, say that God invented media ecology. However you want to look at it, though, Marshall McLuhan is responsible for the first great synthesis that brings together many of the separate strands that media ecology connects to. And he did this starting in the 50s with the Explorations group and culminating with Understanding Media in 1964, which is the most central work in media ecology. And so it brings together studies of form and perception and language and technology and culture and communication all in one package. And that's the first great synthesis, and really pretty much everything after that builds on what McLuhan did. So I wouldn't say that everything about McLuhan is media ecology. There are things about him, his personal life, and even perhaps some aspects of his thought that aren't quite media ecology, but mostly it is. And of course, media ecology represents something much larger than McLuhan, although again he is the most prominent figure. And for me, often the best way to explain media ecology to people is, you ever hear of Marshall McLuhan?